Hey guys, we're here with our NPL Season 4 Week 3 team prep video for our battle against RecklessBat, aka Nick, and the Texas Tyrantrums. Nick will be in the description below. Make sure you guys go check him out. Very good friend of mine. I 100% encourage you guys to go check out his content. But real quick, we will go over what the Tyrantrums have drafted this season. They have Mega Venusaur, Clefable, Arcanine, Thundurus Incarnate, Haxorus, which is his first Zmon, Komala, Doublade, Hawlucha, Spiritomb, his second Zmon, Quagsire, and Beheeyem. Oh, excuse me. My team, if you did not know, is Mega Lopunny, Mew, my first Zmon, Zapdos, Alolan Muck, Klefki, Donphan, Mismagius, my second Zmon, Sneasel, Golisopod, Dragalge, and Megamortar. So looking at his matchup, he has a very, very terrifying team. And honestly, I would say at least 10 Pokemon have potential to come. I think the only one that really isn't going to come is Beheeyem. And I'm also leaning towards the fact that Haxorus probably won't come because I do have the hard counter to Haxorus in Klefki. So I'm less worried about Haxorus, but I do have to prep for Haxorus just in case it comes. And the other 9 things, they could all potentially come. If I had to predict his team, though, I definitely think he's going to bring that top 4. I think he'll probably bring Quagsire. And honestly, maybe Hawlucha. If not Hawlucha, then probably Spiritomb. I think Doublade and Komala are less likely to come, but I still think they have potential to come. So I have to prepare for them just in case they do. So the first mon on this team is going to be Dina, our Mew, holding the Colbur Berry with the ability Synchronize, has the move Psychic, Shadow Ball, Dazzling Gleam, and Nasty Plot with 12 HP, 4 defense, 252 special attack, 4 special defense, and 236 speed with Intimidator. That amount of speed will outspeed Haxorus at max speed Jolly. In turn, also outspeeds everything on his team except the Thundurus and the Hawlucha naturally. He does have a very slow team. His fastest is only 118 with Hawlucha. But the fact that he has Hawlucha with Unburden and he has Thundurus with Prankster T-Wave, that kind of compensates for that. So really good drafting on his part. If I can set up a Nasty Plot, Psychic will 2-hit KO. Or at least it will OHKO most things on his team. The only things it won't OHKO are Clefable if it's unaware, which I expect Magic Guard because I have a lot of hazard options and status options and whatnot. So Clefable, I won't be able to 2-hit KO. I has a 2-hit KO. Everything else is an OHKO. Actually, Komala is a 2-hit KO. And I think that's it. And I am expecting Unaware Quagsire if it comes, because he has little reason to be Water Absorb if my Water type is Golisopod. That Quagsire just eats hits from anyways, so I'm not really expecting Water Absorb. If he's going to bring Quagsire, it's going to be Unaware. I do have a lot of setup options in the form of Mew, Mega Lopunny with Power Up Punch, Mismagius with Nasty Plot, etc. Just to name a few. Sneasel with Swords Dance. The Colbur Berry on Mew is because if I can set up, then really the only thing stopping me is the fact that he has tremendous priority versus Mew with his Spiritomb, specifically Shadow Sneak and Sucker Punch. So I can comfortably take a Shadow Sneak. It does about 50% to me, but a Sucker Punch will do about like 80% to me, and that's not chip I want to take because then I'm in range of an E-Speed from Arcanine. If Thundurus paralyzes me, a lot of things can revenge me, so I don't want to be taking that kind of damage. So that's what the Colbur Berry is for. I don't need an offensive item in particular, besides maybe a Z move, but I didn't think that was going to be completely necessary. According to the calcs I'm doing, everything is being OHKO'd, and if it's not being OHKO'd, it's dying after one hazard take, which we are not bringing rocks, but you guys will see we are bringing Klefki. Obviously, we have to bring it because of Haxorus. We are carrying spikes on that, so if anything that takes one spike, except for the likes of Thundurus and Hawlucha, of course, he doesn't have anything else off the ground. So anything that takes a spike will be OHKO'd except for the things I talked about earlier. Shadow Ball obviously is for the Blade, and Dazzling Gleam is for Spiritomb, the only things that can take Psychics, and Beheeyem, of course, Shadow Ball too. But those are the only things that could take Psychics that resisted at least. So yeah, that is our Mew set this week. I feel like offensive Mew is going to work. There's a bug in my room. I feel like offensive Mew is going to put in a tremendous amount of work this week, and that's just my gut feeling. The next mon on this team is going to be Biohazard, our Alolan Muck, holding the Chesto Berry with the ability Poison. That's supposed to be Poison Touch, not Poison Jab. My fault. Has the moves Poison Jab, Curse, Mean Look, and Rest. with 28 HP, 252 attack, 188 defense, 4 special defense, and 36 speed with an adamant nature. Really interesting muck set this week. Shout out to Sebi for helping me build this set. The idea is that I know his switch in to muck is, I'm like 90% sure it's going to be not Arcanine, Venusaur. And if it's not going to be Venusaur, I'm like, the other 10% of me thinks it's going to be Quagsire. Venusaur eats hits from Muck for days. I have absolutely nothing to hit Venusaur because Muck does not get any kind of flying or psychic coverage. So the idea is that I mean look him on the switch, and I can set up curses for years on his Earthquakes. Really, the only thing stopping me is the fact that he could potentially be carrying Sleep Powder. But I will scout. Hopefully be able to scout for that early, and I don't think he can afford to bring Sleep Powder. I think he has to bring 3 moves and Recovery. He's probably going to have to bring Dual Stab. He's probably going to have to bring Earthquake because of the likes of things like Muck and Klefki and Dragalge. I have so many good resists to Venusaur that he pretty much has to bring Earthquake to hit them. And I imagine he'll bring some form of recovery, whether it be Synthesis or Leech Seed, I'm not sure, but it won't really matter if this gets pulled off. I mean look Venusaur on the switch, I set up curses for years, I get a rest off, and I'm essentially can get up to +6 because he won't be doing any kind of damage to me. A Poison Jab will be able to OHKO Venusaur at that point, and Venusaur is going to be a huge wall for my team, so getting rid of that early is going to be fine. If he brings Quagsire, he immediately brings that in afterwards, no question about it. It's probably going to be Unaware. It resists my only offensive move, which I will have revealed all 4 of my moves at that point. So there's absolutely no reason to not go into Quagsire at that point. The speed investment is to outspeed, just in case his switch-in is Quagsire, I do outspeed Quagsire at -1 after a curse, if he's no speed. The attack investment is just max attack, and then I tried to put the special defense investment was Clefable. I expect this thing to switch in on Clefable and scare it out, which is when he would be bringing in Venusaur. So that special defense investment is just guaranteed that I'm living what's it called? Moonblasts from it. It's doing it's like a 4-hit KO versus me. If he wants to set up rocks, because Clefable is his only rock setter. So if he wants to set up rocks on my Alolan Muck switch, and that's fine too, then I just take no damage as he brings in his Venusaur. And then yeah, that's honestly, and then the defense investment, which is the rest, to try to get as much defense boost as possible from the curse because it will be multiplied. So it's not worth it to go into HP. I'd rather go into defense. But yeah, that is our Muck this week, and that is the plan with Muck, and I really hope it works out because getting rid of Venusaur early is going to be huge for our team. The next mod on this team is going to be my Karki. Have you seen my Karki? With our Klefki holding the air balloon with the ability Prankster, has the moves Dazzling Gleam, Spikes, Toxic, and Magnet Rise. With 252 HP, 212 defense, and 44 special defense and a bold nature. That defense investment is just in case I misplay my Klefki terribly. I can live Earthquakes from Haxorus. In addition, I take Earthquakes comfortably from Mega Venusaur. It does less than half. And obviously I fuck with the rest of Venusaur's moves. Unfortunately, I can't do much to Venusaur because I really needed the Dazzling Gleam just in case Haxorus comes and I need to be able to hit it. I'm not going to just come in on Haxorus, set up a Magnet Rise, and not be able to do anything. That's no fun. Spikes is going to be huge because he has Magikarp, Clefable, he has Thundurus Incarnate, and he has Hawlucha. That is it. That is immune to Spikes. Everything else is going to be taking damage. Toxic will also be huge. Toxicking things like the Arcanine on the Switch. Stuff like Haxorus could be clutch as well. I don't think he'd stay in with Haxorus after I've revealed Magnet Rise because he'll probably have nothing to be able to hit me. Most Haxoruses usually carry Dragon Dance, Dragon Stab, Poison coverage, and Earth coverage, or ground coverage. Meaning that I'm completely immune to anything and everything he wants to touch me with unless he brings some kind of other coverage move. Haxorus does not get fire coverage except for the move Incinerate, which is bad. If he brings Incinerate, I'll throw out the most high quality of question marks at Nick. But yeah, so that's our investment this week. The air balloon is so we can come in on Haxorus once, and then if he does to break our air balloon, we set up a Magnet Rise, and then we're good to go. At that point, it becomes Mind Games when I want to bring in Klefki on Haxorus, which will be most of the time, not going to lie. Set up some Spikes. His hazard removal is just Komala, and that thing is pretty easy to prevent a Rapid Spin on if I play it right. I know because I had Komala last season, and I know how easy it is to prevent a Rapid Spin from that thing. Toxic, just the toxicest threats. Dazzling Gleam, so I'm not completely useless offensively. Just a nice defensive clef key, nothing too special about it. The next mon on this team is going to be Vanilla, our Mega Lopunny, holding the Lopunite with the ability Scrappy. Has the moves Fake Out, Return, High Jump Kick, and Quick Attack with 4 HP, 252 attack, and 252 speed and an adamant nature. That amount of speed ties his fastest mon, which is Hawlucha. That's only if it's Hawlucha as max speed Jolly, which I don't think he will be, because he's either going to speed creep my threats, which I imagine will probably be Sneasel, if he does bring Hawlucha, or he'll just straight up do my, do I have any 110s? I'm pretty sure I don't. Yeah, I don't have 110, so he'd probably do Miss Magius at that point, which is the 105, if he really doesn't think Sneasel's going to come, because Sneasel does not have a great matchup versus him. Besides for the Thunderous would be the only reason why I would want to bring it. Yeah, so it will speed tie Hawlucha, which he will either be slower than max speed Jolly, or he'll be the Unburden boost, in which case it won't matter. So I'm fine with going max speed Adamant. Fake Out, Quick Attack, Return, High Jump Kick. I don't need any kind of other coverage because I don't get anything for the rest of this team. I could have brought Bounce for Venusaur, but that's a bad move. I could have brought Ice Punch for Thunderous, but Return does more. Things like that. He has nothing for this combination of moves besides his just natural bulk. In terms of sheer resistances, he has nothing for my fighting and normal stat besides Spirit Tomb, but of course I have Scrappy, so I'll be able to hit that with super effective fighting moves. So really I just brought Quick Attack for extra priority. I didn't think Power Up Punch was going to be necessary with the fact that he has 2 potential unaware mons. One of them is most definitely going to be an unaware mon. So I did not think it was necessary at all to bring these. So yeah, that's our vanilla set this week. Really basic. Mega Lopunny is pretty basic. It's the type of mon you could just slap max speed, max attack on and call it a day, which is awesome. Oh, excuse me. The next mon on this team is going to be DOGG, our Dragalge, holding the Black Sludge with the ability Adaptability. Has the moves Dragon Pulse, Sludge Wave, Shadow Ball, and Haze with 252 HP, 196 defense, and 60 special attack and a modest nature. That defense investment is to comfortably take hits from Arcanine, specifically offensive Life Orb, Flare Blitzes. It does less than half. I take Bulldozes for the most part. After Black Sludge recovery, I could take 2. Dual Stab, Dragon Pulse, and Sludge Wave. He has nothing to resist that except the likes of Doublade, which is why we are carrying Shadow Ball. Could have brought Toxic Spikes, but Mega Venusaur, if I don't pull off my plan with Muck, then it's going to be able to absorb those Toxic Spikes no problem, in which case we're screwed. And there's no point in bringing Toxic Spikes. I could have brought Draco, but it wasn't doing anything extra that Dragon Pulse wasn't, so I didn't think it was necessary. So I just stuck with Shadow Ball just in case he does decide to bring Doublade, and I'm not completely useless against that. Haze is for his setup mons, his multitude of setup mons. Calm Mind, Clefable, Nasty Plot, Thunderous, Dragon Dance, Haxorus, Swords Dance, Doublade. I don't think Haze works on Burden Boost, but if he has Swords Dance Hawlucha, it will work. Nasty Plot, Spirit Tomb, Calm Mind, Behem. Just a ton of setup on his team, so I wanted to bring Haze to shut that down. The 60 special attack and Modest is just slapping the rest in there after my defense investment. So yeah, that's our Dragalge set this week. This is going to be my switch into Arcanine and Thunderous most likely. The Thunderous set I'm predicting is probably going to be Prankster, T-Wave, Thunderbolt or Volt Switch, and Grass Knot because of Donphan. And the 4th move I don't think will be an offensive move. He doesn't get anything really to hit Dragalge anyways besides like a return, which I don't think you'll want to bring. So he might bring like Prankster Sub, he might bring like Prankster Nasty Plot, not sure, but I don't think it'll be an offensive move. I think he thinks he's going to be fine with just like Thunderbolt and Grass Knot. And yeah, that's what I'm predicting. So this will be my switch into Thunderous and Arcanine most likely, and potentially Clefable if Muck goes down. So yeah, that'll be important. The final mono on this team is going to be Tweety, our Zapdos, holding the Life Orb with the ability Pressure. Has the moves Thunderbolt, Air Cutter, Hidden Power, Grass, and Roost. With 252 HP, 252 defense, 4 special defense, and a modest nature, which is kind of a weird nature, but the defense investment is to comfortably take hits from the likes of Arcanine and Haxorus just in case Klefki goes down. Really, his big offensive physical threats, things like Hawlucha as well, lacking Stone Edge, which I don't think he will. He has to recognize that Zapdos is the switch into Hawlucha, so he'll probably bring Stone Edge if he brings it. Life Orb, Thunderbolt, and Air Cutter does tremendous amount to his team. It 2-hit KOs mostly everything except depends on his Venusaur set to 2-hit KO him with Air Cutter. And Air Cutter always does have a high chance to crit. HP Grass is so I can hit the Quagsire. And Roost for recovery. Really, it's kind of a basic yet weird Zapdos set, but it will work. I think offensive Zapdos will be able to dent teams and go down, and then potentially bring in Mew or Lopunny to clean up the game. Is kind of what I'm expecting to happen. So anyways, that is going to be the team we are bringing for this NPL Season 4 Week 3 match against the Texas Tyrantrums. If you guys did enjoy this video, a like and a subscription would be much appreciated. And I will see you guys tomorrow for our battle, and I'll see you guys then. Later.